In this video, I want to talk about finding the time to be a YouTube content creator. There are lots of videos out there in regards to how to make a good video, but there are not many videos out there talking about how to find even the time to do it. So I hope you find this helpful. There are probably three categories that I would put this into. One is doing YouTube purely as a hobby, in which case, if you maybe don't mind the low views and you can just completely take your time, you can upload things whenever you want. And then, of course, the other end of that is doing this as your actual job, in which case you don't really have to worry about time because this is your main source of work. And then there's that middle category where I find myself, which is probably the hardest, which is having to work a 9 to 5 and yet wanting to do YouTube on the side, but having big dreams to make the channel big and to have great visions into doing YouTube full time one day. So if you're in that middle category, hopefully you'll find this helpful. Now it's kind of that game of placing rocks into a bowl and your little rocks have to go around your big rocks. In other words, the big rocks can't move. They are things that are set in place that you have to do. And let's just throw a couple of examples out there. What would be some of the big rocks in our lives? Well, I know for me, family commitments most importantly, and then there's my 9 to 5, the jobs I have to do every week. Then there's the general maintenance of the house, getting the groceries and all those kind of things. So very much now I have to find ways of doing YouTube in the middle of all of that. Sometimes I find the time. Other times my time is taken away from me if things come up, emergencies or last minute changes. I also struggle with depression, so I'll sometimes lose motivation and maybe a small window of time I have to do content, I just don't have the motivation for it. So are these things that you can identify with on your journey as you hope to build up your YouTube channel? Well, I think there are a couple of things we could talk about. First of all, no one knows anyone's personal schedule better than themselves. So maybe ask a couple of questions here. Are you more of a morning person or more of a nighttime person? I have always been a nighttime person. When people are in bed in the house, I can sit downstairs and get a good 2 or 3 hours done. I've had to become a little bit more of a morning person since I've become a dad. Now, just to give you my work timetable, and this is just throwing examples out really. I work 4 days a week. Now, I'm quite blessed really that I don't have to work 5 like most people, and other people I know it's 6 or even 7. So I work Monday mornings, Tuesday mornings, and then Wednesday afternoons and Thursday afternoons. And so generally when I get home from work on a Monday, Tuesday, I'm sometimes quite tired because I've been up since 4 a.m. to get straight into content. And also I have like maybe 2 hours before I pick my daughter up from school. Sometimes I just, again, don't have the energy to start something, and because of depression, it's that battle of time where is it worth me even starting something in 2 hours, but at the same time you've got 2 hours, you can do this. Generally on an afternoon shift, most of my day is taken away from me because I'll drop my daughter off to school straight into work then at 10 a.m. all the way till 7 p.m. Maybe during lunch break I'll take my computer and do some editing if I have the time. Fridays I am quite lucky in that my daughter goes to school for 6 hours and then I have 6 hours of time to do some really deep stuff. Now, of course, I need to bear in mind my family. If my wife and I, if we want to go out for a meal or for lunch, I don't want to ignore those things. They are very important. Other times, if people get ill, that's the day taken away from you. And then, of course, there's the when school is not in sessions, there's half terms and the Easter holidays, Christmas holidays. Obviously, that's more time with the family. So you have to work out very much for yourself. How does your small rocks work around your big rocks? All right, I wanted to go into the nitty gritty now of like algorithm and how to develop a YouTube channel in light of this finding the time to do it theme that we've been looking at. It is hard when you do find that pressure of a lot of YouTubers teaching that if you really want to grow your channel, you have to be posting at least 2 or 3 times a week. That's a lot of content, that's a lot of editing. So there's recording the content, that can take a couple of hours. And then of course there's all these things added on top that we are told that make good videos or that will grab the viewer. Editing, music, sound effects, memes, all these things add up and they can take time. On the other side of that, however, there has been a shift I find on the internet of saying that quality is better than quantity. You may be better off not posting as much and really focus on that one video and getting it up to scratch. But then of course you can feel discouraged because what happens if you upload it and then you don't get many views? But on the other side of that, again, there are other YouTubers who would say that quantity is better than quality. You're better off making smaller videos and knowing that you won't have the time to get them as immaculate as you like. But in a way, that's okay, because basically the algorithm needs more data. The more YouTube knows about you, the more content it can see, the more writing you have about yourself in your descriptions, the more it can push your content out there to viewers who might be interested in watching your videos. Now, I do want to say that I have had experiences where I have made a little 2-minute video, no editing, just me on my phone, one shot, and that has got more views than some of my more polished material. And I really got thinking about this. What is the reason? What makes YouTube videos so popular? And although editing, good sound effects and music and good pacing does help, I don't ignore that, I don't think it's everything. And I think it has to do more with the subject matter that you are getting across, the purpose, the reason that you are wanting to say this. So I would say, as you're balancing this out and working out how to find the time to do YouTube, in the back of your mind always, there has to be that why. What is your vision? What is your reason? What does the world need to hear? How can you respond to that? And also then there's the USP, unique selling point. How are you different? How can you make an impact on a certain subject matter? What have you got to offer? People, I find those things more relatable than even the polished videos. So this is just a way to encourage you as you're struggling to find time doing YouTube, like myself sometimes. Focus your attention instead on the vision, the purpose, the meaning of why you're doing this. And I hope this helps you, friend. I just want to put out there, I'm really trying to grow my channel, and I would love it if you could like this video. Please subscribe, write comments, share it with others.